beware. A trap has been set for you. Beloved, pause for a holy moment. This is not random. It is a divine appointment of clarity. Have you ever felt God asking you to stay quiet when every part of you wanted to defend yourself? Not in plain sight, but behind your back, your name is being whispered, documented, twisted into a version of events you never agreed to. Someone you once trusted is now playing protector while carefully arranging the pieces to frame you. But listen, beloved, don't scroll past. Every word you're about to hear is connected to what's happening around you right now. Have you noticed it? That call that cut off too soon, that message that came out of nowhere, that person suddenly acting too kind. These aren't coincidences, they're signs. This is part of a strategy, an emotional ambush designed to make you react so they can use your reaction as a weapon. Archangel Michael warns, your silence has power, but they are using it against you. They're twisting your calm into guilt, your kindness into weakness, your absence into accusation. They're waiting for one thing, your reaction. Because once you react in public, once your emotions flare, they'll say, see, that's the proof. But what they want isn't just to see you fall, they want your peace. They know if they can steal your clarity, they can control your next move. This is not a physical trap. This is spiritual warfare. This is a calling to discernment, not a license to fear. It's emotional manipulation dressed up like concern, and it's coming for your mental stillness, your spiritual grounding. But don't take the bait. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Stay calm, stay silent, let heaven fight this battle. While they scheme in shadows, God is already exposing every lie. While they write your story in ink, heaven is rewriting theirs in fire. If any scheme leans on tools or timing, may it fail by the counsel of heaven. If any whisper rises, may truth rise higher. What was meant to provoke you will become a lesson that promotes you. Tonight is not about exposing people. It is about exposing patterns so your peace can be protected. Now, if this message speaks to your spirit, type Amen in the comments below. Let it be your declaration that you will not be moved, that you will not give your peace away. And stay with me until the very end, because we'll close with a powerful prayer that will break every spiritual trap and restore your divine clarity. Be still, take a deep breath. Heaven saw the trap long before it was set. You are not alone. Heaven is watching, and your peace is protected. You are not the victim. You are the vessel God is refining for greater authority. There's a silence before certain storms, but not the kind that destroys. This one exposes. What you're walking through right now may feel confusing, even unbearable. Whispers behind your back. Strange tension in the air. Sleepless nights. Unexpected chills that come out of nowhere. But listen closely, child of God. This is not fear creeping in. This is heaven getting into position. Someone has been watching. Not the people watching your every move, waiting for you to fall. Not those setting traps in the dark. No, someone higher. One whose eyes miss nothing. The one who sees through every lie, every manipulation, every carefully crafted facade, and he's already made his judgment. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. Proverbs 15:3. This is not your downfall, it's your divine reveal. You may not see it yet, but the very ones who are trying to discredit you, who are quietly building a false story about you, will soon be caught in the net they cast for you. Pride will trip them. Their own words will expose them, not because you argued, not because you fought, but because the truth has its own timing, and it's divine. The moment they've waited for, the evidence they've tried to gather, the conversations they've twisted, it will all vanish like mist. Systems will glitch, screens will go blank, recordings will corrupt. The very tools they use to trap you will turn on them, and no one will be able to explain why. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Isaiah 54:17. They'll panic, they'll scramble to fix it, they'll call others in, but heaven is already ahead of them. You won't have to say a single word. Your silence will speak louder than anything they could have accused you of. Events will unfold that prove your innocence without you lifting a finger. The narrative will shift in such a way that the same people who gossiped behind your back will now fall silent, unable to comprehend how quickly everything reversed. And it will be public. It will be clear. This is the moment where heaven says, "Enough." But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. Psalm 37:13. Archangel Michael has spoken, "This is your season of divine exposure." Those who schemed in shadows will now panic in daylight. Why? Because they weren't just scheming against you, they were standing in defiance against what God ordained. And heaven will never let that stand. You were not the victim, you were the test, and they failed. This is why you felt that pressure in your spirit, not because you're in danger, but because the truth is aligning and something massive is about to break loose. You're not waiting for justice in the human sense. You're about to experience a kind of justice that can't be reversed, delayed, or silenced. No lawyers, no courtroom, just God's hand. It will be quiet, sudden, unstoppable. You see, long before the trap was set, your protection was already in place. God wrote this part of your story not with fear, but with glory. He allowed the setup only because he had already scripted the reversal. What they meant to bury you with will become the very reason you rise. Think of Joseph in Genesis, betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely accused and imprisoned. And yet in time he rose to power, and those same brothers had to bow before the one they betrayed, not because Joseph sought revenge, but because God turned the betrayal into purpose. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done. Genesis 50:20. That's what's happening to you now. What was meant to discredit you is becoming your elevation. What was supposed to shame you will shine light on your strength. Every lie, every rumor, every twisted silence you endured is now being unraveled by the very hand of heaven. But don't miss this next part, because this isn't just a moment of victory. It's a turning point in your identity. You're not just surviving the trap, you're being rebuilt through it. Your dignity is not just being restored, it's being redefined. You're not going back to who you were before the setup. You're stepping into someone stronger, wiser, and fully aligned with your purpose. And, yes, the setup was deeper than you thought. But so is your anointing. So is your calling. So is your protection. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Because what's coming next will make them silent. Heaven is not just clearing your name. Heaven is establishing your voice. And the beauty of this moment? You won't need to chase anyone. You won't need to explain yourself. The truth will rise like the morning sun, undeniable and impossible to cover. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, your justice like the noonday Sunday. Psalm 37:6. So walk forward, don't rush, don't retaliate. Stay focused, keep your spirit steady, because the twist is not coming. It has already begun. The shift is already in motion. Heaven's order is already in motion. And when it fully reveals itself, you'll understand why you had to go through every moment, why the silence mattered, why the setup was necessary, why God had to let certain people expose their hearts without you doing anything. This moment is the revelation before your eyes. You're not just being defended, you're being unveiled. And when heaven speaks next, every lie will fall silent. There's a kind of betrayal that doesn't shout. It doesn't come with loud accusations or obvious attacks. It comes softly, cloaked in smiles, wrapped in familiar voices. It walks beside you, pretends to support you, and says just enough of the right things to earn your trust. But underneath, it weaves a quiet web, one thread at a time, one false word at a time. Someone close to you is placing your name into conversations where it doesn't belong. They're not doing it to defend you, they're doing it to tie your name to something dangerous. It starts with innocent stories, light banter, well-placed questions. But the more they speak, the more those pieces connect into something dark, something misleading. Something designed not to break you all at once, but to trap you slowly. This isn't paranoia. It's spiritual awareness. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, one who shared my bread, has turned against me. Psalm 41:9. They show up at odd hours, texting late at night, calling when you least expect, pretending it's all coincidence. But it's not. Their timing is too precise, almost as if they already know what's coming. As if they're watching the calendar of your life unfold before you even turn the page. The Spirit of the Lord whispers, "Your calm will confuse those who plot against you. Their presence unsettles you, not violently, but subtly. You feel it in the way their eyes shift when you speak about your future, in the way they remember every detail you share, not to support you, but to report you. And here lies the heart of the trap. They're waiting for you to say yes to something small, a gathering, a request, a favor that seems harmless. But once you agree, that single yes becomes evidence. Twisted, repackaged, taken out of context, used against you. Be very careful, then, how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Ephesians 5:15-16. They give advice. But every time you follow it, confusion follows. Not because you're lost, but because they want you to question your own voice. Their goal isn't to destroy you directly, it's to break your trust in your own discernment, because once you doubt yourself, they don't need to do anything else. You'll sabotage yourself with hesitation and second-guessing, but not anymore. This message found you at the exact moment your soul was ready to take back control. You're not that same person they thought they could manipulate. You're not reactive anymore. You're aware. And every moment you choose stillness over panic, their strategy begins to crumble. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. Psalm 28:7. Archangel Michael says, "Your peace is your armor." They expect panic. Give them peace. They expect explanations. Give them wisdom. They feed on your reaction, so starve the story by not giving it anything more. Even now, as you're hearing these words, something is shifting. That person, the one hiding behind the disguise, is starting to feel it. Their heart is racing. Their secrets are trembling under the weight of truth. Their confidence is cracking, and soon they won't be able to maintain the illusion. Heaven is rearranging your timeline. Calls meant to trap you will suddenly disconnect. Plans set against you will fail to take shape. Evidence they were collecting, gone like smoke fading in sunlight. They'll be left with nothing, no proof, no story, only guilt and the knowledge that what they tried to destroy became the very thing that proved God was with you. You will rise, not defensive, not bitter, but radiant, composed, untouched. This is not about revenge. This is about revelation. And the truth is, someone else has been watching all along. Not an enemy, but an ally sent by heaven. They've stayed silent until now. But their next action will bring light to everything that was kept from you. Emails, conversations, intentions, all exposed in divine order. In the next few days, you'll notice patterns, conversations that feel like déjà vu, certain names resurfacing, moments where you pause and say, "Haven't I seen this before?" That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Heaven is revealing the full map, the who, the when, the why, and once you see it clearly, it will all begin to make sense. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil. Ecclesiastes 12:14. But don't prepare with fear, prepare with peace, because when the final truth falls, it won't harm you, it will free you. Every tear you cried in silence, every night you questioned your own intuition, every conversation you replayed in your head, trying to make sense of it, they will all become evidence of your strength. And here's the part you've been waiting for. The person behind this setup, the one hiding in plain sight, will be revealed, not just hinted at, revealed fully. Their name, their motive, their methods, and when it happens, you'll feel both shock and relief. Not because you couldn't guess, but because heaven waited for the perfect time to confirm it. You'll realize something powerful. You were never truly in danger. God was never absent. This betrayal, as painful as it has been, was always meant to bring clarity, not chaos. It was always designed to set you apart, not tear you down. Every part of the story was leading you here to this moment of understanding, healing, and divine restoration. And now everything is about to connect. Stay here, because from this moment on, the real story begins. You're not imagining it. That unease in your chest, the restlessness in your spirit, the moments that felt off but never came with answers. They weren't random, they weren't overreactions, they were warnings, divine nudges, gentle whispers from heaven saying, "Look closer." Because now the curtain is being pulled back. What once seemed scattered and confusing is about to connect into one terrifyingly clear picture. Every odd message, every shift in tone, every strange coincidence, it's all part of a calculated setup. And the most painful part? The person orchestrating it was never far away. In fact, they stood close enough to hear your heartbeat, to earn your trust, to look you in the eyes and say they were for you while tightening the strings behind your back. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. Heaven has waited until now, not to punish you, but to protect you. Because this unveiling is not just a moment of exposure, it's a moment of clarity, and it had to come at just the right time. The person you once leaned on has been carrying a secret too heavy for them to hide any longer. Their plan was never to attack you head-on. That would have been too obvious. No, their aim was more sinister, to make others believe that you were the storm. They've been gathering your words, mimicking your patterns, baiting your reactions, but not out of care, not to understand you, to predict you, to stay one step ahead, to corner you gently until your yes becomes a trap, your silence becomes suspicion, and your loyalty becomes the very proof they twist into lies. But they've already failed. Archangel Michael speaks boldly. What they plotted in darkness is already being rewritten by divine hands. Your peace, your patience, your refusal to play into their trap, that is what's dismantling their power over you. They don't realize yet that every move they've made has only served heaven's purpose. And now the unraveling begins. Their rehearsed words will start to slip. The same lines they've fed others will no longer align. One story here, another there, and suddenly the people who once believed them will begin to doubt. Why? Because the truth doesn't need rehearsal. But lies always unravel under pressure. You'll witness it. It won't be dramatic. It'll be a quiet mistake, a misplaced word, a reaction that comes too fast, a pause where there should have been confidence. And just like that, their mask will crack, not in front of you, but in front of someone they wanted to impress. And there, the light will rush in. He uncovers deep things out of darkness and brings the shadow of death to light. Job 12:22. But why did heaven let it go on this long? Because you needed to know who was real, who stood by you from love, and who stood beside you out of strategy, who was cheering for your healing, and who was waiting for your weakness. And now that time has come. Every false loyalty is about to be stripped away, every pretend friend exposed. This is not your battle to fight. Your role is not to retaliate, but to observe and rise. God is not calling you to bring vengeance. He is inviting you into revelation. Archangel Michael declares, "Let your peace be your proof. Let serenity speak louder than accusation. For those who conspire in secret always choke on their own lies." You don't need to confront. You don't need to prove. Their own words will expose them. Their own fear will betray them. Because guilt is a weight that cannot be carried for long, and it always leaks through the cracks. And then something unexpected will happen. A message, a phone call, something that seems small, but when it comes, it will carry divine proof, the kind no one can deny. It may come from someone who once doubted you, or even stood against